Hey everybody, I'm Dan.
And I'm Ashley, and this is our daughter Ruby, and this is our review of Enota Retreat Campground.
Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by our channel. We travel in our Class A 40-foot RV to different campsites, and we wanted to bring you with us. We're at Enota Campground. This campground is just outside of Helen between Hiawassee off 180. It's in the mountains, and it is more of a rustic slash primitive type campground. When you first drive into the property in an RV, there's a small little bridge that you have to come across, which is kind of scary if you've never been. They have done repairs to the bridge, so it's much safer than last year. Driving up the roads, take your time. It's a pretty bumpy, rough, rocky road, especially in our Class A. It shook everybody around at very low speeds. It is unpaved, it's a gravel road. There is definitely some bumps going in.
When you first pull in, you'll reach the lodge where you're going to check in. The staff was friendly and kind and told us a little bit about the property and answered some questions that we had. Check-in process was smooth and we were on to our site. The sites are quite narrow when you pull out your slides. The distance between where you would sit with your picnic table and your chairs is very small, so if you have a slide on your motorhome, you're probably going to be pretty close to their picnic tables and their hangout area.
Actually, we were very close to the picnic area on our campsite of our RV. The slide out, we have a full wall slide, and it is almost touching the grill area. There's probably maybe a foot and a half to 2 feet. I am parked all the way to the far side of the concrete slab. I was barely able to get our full RV on. I had to do some work in the back on the trees that I'll show you here. As I got it pulled back into the spot, the left side where you would generally have your sewage and electrical connections are blocking the door, so you'll have to make preparations for that. Also on the other side where you would camp at, there's not a lot of space. It is a very tight spot, especially for the larger RV Class A's.
If you have a smaller motorhome, you probably won't have any issues, but with our larger, it did present kind of a problem. I was able to book our site online, which was convenient, and the standard RV site fees are comparable to others in the area. Unfortunately, they do charge additional fees for extra children and pets, so that added an extra $20 to our stay per night, which was kind of steep in my opinion. They do have a play area for the children. It's rather large. They have 3 large trampolines for the kids to play on, and they're safe because they're buried underground, so you're able to just walk right onto the trampoline. They have a swing set and a little jungle gym, but they're pretty old and could definitely use some repair and attention. There were lots of bugs and wasp nests and just need general maintenance.
I would say be careful with your children at these play areas. There are plenty of rotted wood that I'll show you in this little clip. Just wasp nests and things like that you need to look out for if you allow your kids to play on.
One of our favorite parts about Enota Campgrounds is the farm. Our kids absolutely love it. It's just a small farm. They have, I think, 2 cows, probably about 6 goats, a couple pigs, I would say maybe 5 bunnies, depending on the season, and they do have some small mini horses. Our kids love going down there and feeding the animals. This year was a little sad because some of the cages are just kind of wrecked and the animals seem to need some attention.
Took one of the water bottles for the bunny cages, which were both empty, down to the stream, filled it up, and the bunnies were extremely excited to have some water. There was a dead chicken in the cage that his buddies were just walking all over him. Sadly, he's been there a little while. So I think overall it just needs a little bit more attention. All the animals seem to be well fed. Nobody appears sick. And I would say that it's okay to let your kids play with the animals.
Our kids had a great time at the farm. I just wish that they had a designated person to watch over the farm so that the animals are well taken care of daily and that the cages are safe for the animals and for children.
So there's plenty of wildlife here at Enota. There are ducks roaming around. The goats tend to get out and come check out your RV site. There are bears. We did not see any on this trip, but I know they were here. I woke up probably around 3 in the morning and something big was bumping into our motorhome. I think it was trying to crawl in between that tight little space we were telling you about. And then the next day I spoke to the neighbor and he was closing his window, which is right next to us. And when he closed it, he watched a bear run off back into the woods. So we know they're here. I've smelt them. There's plenty of snakes running around. We didn't see any on this trip other than the one the guy brought us, which was just a plain little gardener snake. There are copperheads and all the normal Georgia snakes are around here, and this is a perfect place for them to be. Lots of little logs to hide under, lots of water, so definitely pay attention to the snakes and the wildlife while you're here.
We know that's part of the package of camping in an area like this, but just be mindful with your children and your pets, and of course when you're walking on trails.
So Enota is beautiful. There is tons of scenery. There's just picturesque views everywhere you look. The trees, the shrubbery, the mountain laurel, everything is just very beautiful here. On property, they have 3 waterfalls you can hike to. The first one is a 200-foot waterfall called Gurley Falls. We did not visit this waterfall this year, and we have not visited it yet. The next one is Joel Falls. It's a 400-foot waterfall. We did visit this one. There's a watermill up top, a very beautiful, picturesque waterfall coming down. We let the kids kind of play around in the little pool that's below it, so I suggest hiking up to that one. There's actually another 30-foot waterfall on property that we're going to visit. Supposedly it is one of the best, is what the front office is saying. We'll let you know here shortly. So we truly enjoyed our stay here at Enota. This is our 3rd year. We've watched a lot of changes and non-changes happen. On this trip, just like last trip, there's just nobody around. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm not sure if it's the rates, if it's the lack of staff, if it's the lack of maintenance around the property, because it definitely needs some.
Lack of marketing, maybe. Maybe
lack of marketing. But there generally is nobody here. I think there's 4 campers on site, maybe somebody up in the cabins. There's just not a lot of people. That's probably one of our downfalls, nobody to play with. Actually talked about the rates earlier. I think the rates are kind of high for what they have to offer. It is very beautiful. If you're a tent camper or a small RV camper, definitely the place to go to get away from it all. There is no Wi-Fi, no cable, no phone reception. The closest reception we can get is up the mountain a little ways towards Brasstown Bald or back towards Hiawassee. We're able to pick up AT&T. I don't think if you had a powered antenna for your RV, you still wouldn't be able to pick up anything. The Wi-Fi that is on property is spotty to say the best. Enota has Wi-Fi that you can pick up called Enota Campground, Enota TV, and Enota Deck Extension, I think it is. But none of them were operational. When you connect to them, they say no internet available for us. There is another Wi-Fi, which I'm not sure if it belongs to Enota or not. It's called AYR Mesh. We were able to pick up Wi-Fi on this. We were able to stream after 10 o'clock, spotty. We did get some Netflix action in there, which was great. We watched, I think, an Adam Sandler movie, which you should check out. It's kind of funny, murder mystery.
But it is unsecured, so if that's important to you, I don't know that you're gonna have much luck here.
Yes. Overall, the property needs maintenance. There are some things you want to watch out for. The docks and areas and the decks that you cook on. There's some rotted areas, which is to be expected in such a primitive and rustic site. If that's your thing, you'll love it. If you are looking for a concrete jungle for your big RV, this is not the place to go. If you're willing to brave it, this is a fantastic place to bring your children and your family. I don't know if I would recommend the cabins. The bathrooms in the Dakota retreat are pretty nice, believe it or not, but the rest of the cabins definitely need some rehabbing. I'm sure there's plenty of creepy crawlies in there. We didn't go in, but I don't know if I'd sleep in there. So overall, we give Enota a 3 out of 5 stars. We give it a 5 for the beauty that this place offers. It used to be, I guess, an Indian reservation, maybe, is what we're kind of hearing. But it is very beautiful, very serene. So for that, we give it 5. But overall, a 3 out of 5. Definitely needs a little bit of maintenance. It could use some Wi-Fi. could use maybe cable. We're okay without the cable if we had Wi-Fi or antenna service for your phone. That would be nice, but that's nothing they can control because we are in the mountains.
Correct.
But other than that, our kids love Enota. That's why we come back for them. And we hope to talk to you soon. This was our review of Enota. We'll catch you on the next one.